Hello and welcome to a Smurp video, and today we are looking at Immortal X-Men 11, and we have this beautiful variant cover from Noto of continuing the council members, this time with Storm. Now we are picking up on the back of Sins of Sinister, which was the big event for the year, and during that time this series stopped and was replaced by Immortal X-Men. So we have Storm sort of, she's kind of stepped into the role of Xavier at this point in time, and she's trying to get things back to some sort of control, etc. And she's got this whole monologue in the background about what she does. She is also, we need to remember, the monarch of Arico on what previously known as Mars. So the story begins with the four coming up from their prison in the ground, which they volunteered for at the end of Sins of Sinister. And what they are trying to do is they are trying to get them to some sort of normality. Now, Xavier says, we volunteered for this sort of thing. So we've got this whole little things, and it's called Sins Don't Wash Away. This is written by Kieron Gillen. Lucas Werneck is on the art. David Carell is on the colors. VC's Clay Cows is on the letters, and Tom Miller and Jay Bowen are on design. So, we also get this moment here, which I really like, where they're talking, and Storm remembers why she was in love with Forge at one point as well, which I thought was quite nice, because their relationship has sort of been a bit tense since then. Over the years, it was a little bit tense, so it's nice, because I thought they were really good together, to be fair, which is something. So I don't know, maybe there's something there, or maybe there's not. But Forge has created this machine, which and he gives a report on how the DNA got in there and what it does, etc. And even though he believes he has got it all and has resolved that, there is the potential for him not being able to achieve that. So they all want to get back to council business, but Storm says no. And this is where Forge just explains that we don't know what sort of traps, etc., that Sinister has left in there. So Storm is playing it cautiously. So the Cuckoos will support the 5 resurrections to ensure that there's no manipulation, etc. And she also doesn't want them to vote, etc. So it's so she's blocking their votes. She's saying that this is the right thing to do. And even though they're manipulated, they're trying to say that all we want is what's best interested in Krakoa. So Storm says there's something you need to see. So with the help of Mother Righteous and Rasputin, they have these on the things, and she's not allowing them to use their mind to probe, etc. She's saying, you've got to watch this and do this the old-fashioned way. And as you can see, they see the monstrosities of that universe and how it played out, etc. I'm sorry, this side seems to be a bit dark. So by the end of it, they're a little bit broken. So Hope doesn't want to speak to Exodus, and Xavier says, what you need from us. So ideally, she says, we need to keep up appearances. We do need to keep up appearances, because if we don't keep up appearances, this whole place is going to fall to pieces. But you just can't vote, not until we are comfortable, etc., until we're ready, sort of things. Also, they talk about Rasputin, and obviously she explains that she was designed not to be manipulated by a Sinister. but she was lied to, etc. Her genetics are made up of this, which is great. So the next part of it is speaking to Destiny. So Destiny, quite as she does, sort of manipulates this truth of the truth. She sort of hides the real truth of why she did everything in the future, etc. But by saying that the timelines were leading like this and that, and I was going for the best things and so forth. But Storm knows that they're lying, but Destiny doesn't want to tell the truth. She doesn't want to tell her that everything she did in this future was because she wanted to keep Mystique alive for as long as she could. Meanwhile, Exodus and Hope go at it. And Storm says, you cannot hide the truth from me for long. So she's going to get that truth. Meanwhile, Mother Righteous ventures in to see Mystique and gives her a certain recording. One that is about Mystique. So Mystique learns the truth of potentially how she could death. So it will be interesting to see how this one plays out. Is this going to change, or is this going to lead to her death? Is this everything that happens? Is this the reason it happens, for example? So all these little things are brilliant. Is this one of Mother Righteous's plays in this new era where the diamonds of hearts conquered, etc. I can't remember. Anyway, Storm comes in to stop this fight, etc. Say, look, your people watching. You shouldn't be doing this sort of thing. And she goes, crap. So what Hope reveals now is that I can also manipulate you by taking your powers off you. So we're just here as normal people. And we've got to remember that Hope was trained in the future by Cable at one point, fighting a big guy. She is well averse to fight hand to hand. So she is reeling from the fact that they've been close friends for a while now, and it's quite breaking for her to know that he turned on her and left her to die, etc. And then she apologizes to Storm and goes, etc. Storm says, do you want to talk about Max, as in Magneto? So she's not calling him Eric. So I clearly need to read X-Men Red, because there is a strong bond between Storm and Magneto there, and his death in AXE really affected her. So I'm not sure if he's back or what, so I need to read that. I'm probably going to do that on Marvel Unlimited. I'm not going to do reviews on that. He doesn't want to talk about it now, but this thing is sort of showing her that Xavier is still the same. He's not changed. He's got this godlike complex as well in creating what he does, etc. So White Queen makes a point that in this universe that they were in, Storm for 5 years did nothing. She did not realize what was going on. She was too busy on this other world. And that's the whole point of this issue. It's around Storm not being on Krakow when they need her to make decisions, and being focused on Arakoa, because she's got a whole world to look after and, ensure the people there are safe, etc., as well as the threats perhaps from the universe, etc. Like I said, I've not read it. So White Queen's taking it really well. She was a villain before. She knows how to feel like crap afterwards and not feel she knows how to feel shame, but also she recognizes that it was Sinister's doing this whole thing. It wasn't her. Yes, it may sort of been her personality, etc., but it wasn't her. It was heavily influenced from this sinister evil dropped into her, etc. And she says, I've done worse with the Hellfire Clubs. She recognizes that there's worse times in her life, and this isn't one that she should be mooring over, so to speak. I think I pointed out about the 5 years. So this is where she says you don't get to judge me, etc. So they're at odds now, which is great, etc. But it also gives Storm this second wind, etc., which I'll explain in a minute. So sure, and Mother Righteous have a relationship that we didn't know about. So she is the new friend of Krakoa that was the money behind Selene's power play. And he wants to develop this relationship with Mother Righteous, because when this all goes down, when it all falls to pieces, he wants to own this because there's money to be made. So he's got his own agenda in the background, and it's probably been a long time coming. Shura's agenda, he's been battered, he's been beaten, etc. But now he's starting to perhaps come out on traps. So it will be interesting to see how that pays. But it doesn't mean that he's going to get all the votes. That's enough. That's a problem he's got to sort out. Anyway, so Storm asks, she says she can't be in two places at once, and she needs somebody she can trust that can make the vote. Now, the interesting thing about this is perhaps we would have thought it would have been Nightcrawler, but it's not Nightcrawler, because that would be too easy, because Nightcrawler's good at the moment. He would do the right thing, whereas good old Colossus, sorry, I meant to turn the page at the same time, is going to act as her proxy and vote on Storm's behalf when she cannot be there. And it's a great move, because there's something going on with Colossus and X-Force, and I'm not up to date with X-Force, I'll tell you that, but I believe that he is not in a good place. He's being manipulated, or something's going on in the background. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit behind on X-Force as well, so I'm not sure how far along that storyline's come along. So clearly this is starting to play out in terms of that as well. And now Colossus is going to do what's in the best interest into whatever Colossus' hidden agenda is. So there we have it. Immortal X-Men is back, and back with a bang. The team have broken their damage, etc. And it was amazing. I loved every moment of this issue. It was a great issue. And Kieron doing what he's doing best. This is why I love reading this book in particular. It's a great read and consistent throughout. So anyway, I hope you liked my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you to everybody that is subscribed. Make sure you look after yourself. And as always, brace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.